Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 24 updates and spoilers. Hope you're all having a great Tuesday so far, and thank you for being here. Our house guests of the day are Shane Wright and Rob and Sumner. Thank you all so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So, thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. Yay! And before we get started, I also want to thank yesterday's super chatters because it's another fantastic way to support our channel. So Jody Cortez, Christian Torres, Vincent Campos, Sean Davis, and Callie, thank you all so much for your super chats yesterday. Special Labor Day edition. We really do appreciate that. And I see we have a few super chatters today already. Norm the Cat, thank you as always. Randall Westgard, thank you so much. And Sophie Couch, thank you so much. Sophie says, excited for the double. Let's see how this turns out. I see what you did there. I'm excited for the double too. At this point in the season, let's be real, things really start to drag. So I'm excited to, jumpstart things here, speed things up a little bit, and just like watch the rest of the season play out, see what's going to happen. So should be fun. And Dawn MH302, thank you so much. I love that little sticker. All right, so let's get started. When we left off yesterday, they had the power veto ceremony. Michael did not use the power veto as planned. And Terrance and Alyssa remain up on the block, and we know that Terrance is Michael's target. Michael has been steadfast in that. He has not been flip-flopping back and forth. Other people may have been flip-flopping, but Michael is always the one to bring it back to, no, I want Terrance to go this week. Okay, so we talked about last time, Turner, Monty, and Michael all met up to discuss working together as a three because Turner shared that Brittany tried to make a final two with him. She was saying, no one can beat Michael. We need to take him out. Can't go to the final two with him. And she was telling Turner, you're like the only person that I feel like I would have a chance against in the final two. I think she was more wording it as like we would have an even shot against each other. She wasn't like, I think I could beat you. But she also spilled to Turner that she was kind of getting into an alliance with Alyssa and Taylor. So Turner brought this info to Michael and Monty, and he's trying to get this 3-person guys alliance together. So the guys agree. The girls are probably expecting them all to take each other out, and then the girls can just coast to the end easily, right? So the guys all agree that they are better off working together, right? If one of us goes, then, the rest of us are just going to get picked off. So we need to work together. So the guys decided they were going to chat with the girls a bit, suss out how serious they are about their all girls alliance, and then they can take it from there because they're still not sure like how legit is this Alyssa, Taylor, and Brittany thing. But my question is, how serious are the guys about this? What a freaking change up if Turner and Monty are serious about not targeting Michael moving forward. That's huge for Michael. That's insane that they would rather go to the end with Michael than with the girls. Like what? But it seems like, yeah, Turner and Monty are planning to target Taylor and Alyssa next. What? So I would say Michael is probably not as serious about this alliance with them. And I also want to say none of these guys are thinking like we're gonna go to the final 3 together. Not at this point. Monty and Turner know that they're gonna have to take out Michael. But even the fact that they're considering not taking him out immediately next week is huge for Michael. So Michael, I would say, is probably along for the ride for now, but I highly doubt that he wants to go to the final 3 with those guys either, right? He wants to go with his girls. He knows they're going to be much easier to beat in competitions, much easier to get votes against in the final 2. So, I'm sure he'd take the safety from Monty and Turner next week, but I don't know if he'd return the favor if he were to win HOH the following week. So, okay. That's interesting. moving forward here. Terrance and Monty had a chat in the backyard yesterday, and Terrance says, I know that I'm Michael's target, and it seems like the house does not want to move against the process. Nobody wants to go against the grain to keep Terrance this week. So Terrance seems like he's kind of accepting that he's probably going to be leaving on Thursday, but he's telling Monty this next HOH is going to be crazy. It's really going to set the tone for who could win this whole entire game. He doesn't even know. It's a double eviction, baby. But Terrance is asking Monty, who do you think that you could sit next to in the end and win against? So Monty says, Michael's a no. Brittany, he feels he can probably win against Brittany. He says, as of now, not Turner. But maybe after another HOH win, and if I make a big move, then maybe I could beat Turner, because Turner has made some big moves this season. He's got some good stuff on his resume. But yeah, Monty is like, you know what? I just get really overwhelmed thinking about final two scenarios. He really wants to just focus on like this week, maybe next week, and then he can go from there. So Terrance is talking about his potential votes for this week. You need 3 to stay or 2 to tie, and then you would need Michael to break a tie in your favor. So it's not looking great for Terrance. He says Taylor is clearly locked in with Michael and Brittany. I'm not going to get her vote, right? If I'm Michael's target, Taylor's not going to keep me. And he says Turner is not going to go against the house. Brittany is not going to go against Michael. So already that's like 3 votes for Terrance to go. Yeah. I mean, that's not even considering Alyssa's not going to keep him. Alyssa's on the block. What am I saying? Yeah, it's just not looking good for Terrance. Did I say there's 5 votes? There's 4 votes. You need 2 to tie. Yeah, 2 to tie, 3 to stay. Okay, I confused myself for a second, but that is correct. Okay, so Monty says he does not have any attachment to Alyssa at all. So he would definitely vote for Terrance to stay in that regard, meaning like he likes Terrance better. He feels like Terrance could be better for his game. But if the votes are not there, Monty's not going to stick his neck out like that, right? Monty figures Alyssa is going to hit everyone with the emotional pitch. That's what she does. She cries. Terrance says, I can't do nothing with all that crying and shit. He says, that shit is too much for me. Amen. It's a bit much. But Terrance is asking, when I'm out of here, who's going to be on the chopping block, right? Because Terrance has been an easy person for people to put up every week. But then once he's gone, people are going to have to start showing their cards more. So Terrance also brings up something that he's been campaigning with, saying Alyssa already has a ton of jury votes waiting for her. She's got so many friends in the jury house. And Monty says it's super frustrating that Alyssa is not the target this week, because there always just seems to be an excuse to keep Alyssa in the house another week. And it just keeps going and going and going. And he's wondering, what the hell is everyone's attachment to Alyssa? Why are they fighting so hard for her to stay? I mean, in previous weeks, you can thank Kyle for a lot of that, right? Alyssa would have been out of here weeks ago if it wasn't for Kyle. So Monty says that's what makes me scared of Alyssa even more. She's just going to end up floating her way to the final 2. I mean, it's definitely possible, right? We've seen it happen before. But again, Monty is telling Terrance, I would be willing to vote for you 100%, hundo P. And I think that Turner could do it as well, but he probably wouldn't unless Brittany or Taylor were on board. They're not. So Terrance is just frustrated that Taylor is working so closely with Michael and Brittany, especially with the way that things went down last week. They held on to that information about Kyle, and then once they did share it with everyone, Michael then still used the veto on Brittany and not Taylor. So Terrance and Monty really believe that Taylor is being taken for a ride by Michael and Brittany. So Terrance brings up, if Alyssa wins HOH, she's probably going to put up you, Monty, and she's going to put Taylor next to you. I mean, I definitely see her putting up Monty, but not Taylor. Alyssa's trying to get this final 4 going with Brittany, Michael, and Taylor. So I don't see her putting Taylor up on the block. But he doesn't know that. So Terrance is going through his reasoning. He says Alyssa probably made a deal with Michael and Brittany to keep her safe this week. She's not going to put up Turner. She's been close to Turner this whole time. So that just leaves Monty and Taylor. So Terrance says, if I stay and I win HOH, I'd put up Michael and Turner. So just think about that. He says those two are pieces in everyone else's puzzle. They connect everyone. That's what you got to do. That's who you have to put up. Okay. So a little later, Monty and Taylor are chatting outside. And Monty says, Terrance was pitching to me and he made some pretty valid points. Monty says, I'm not really sure what Terrance's true intentions are. Nobody knows what Terrance would actually do if he got power again. I mean, I think people are still just scarred from what happened at Direfest. Terrance just like doing whatever. So they just feel like they can't predict what he's going to do. But they agree that Terrance's campaign is heavily based on jury. He keeps talking about how many jury votes Alyssa's going to have. He keeps going through all these different final two scenarios with everyone and being like, ooh, I'm going to be the deciding vote. So do what I want. But anyway, Monty is asking, like, is Alyssa really that big of a threat though? Like, do we have to worry about her that much? Monty's not super thrilled with Alyssa because she has been targeting him for a long time and he knows this. He's gotten confirmation of this. But Alyssa has been telling Monty that she wasn't targeting him. Of course, she's not going to admit it. And Monty knows it is a flat out lie. So, Taylor brings up that Alyssa is just always playing the victim too, and it's getting really tiring. So, Monty brings up that he thinks Alyssa would put both of them up on the block if she wins HOH. This is what he was talking about with Terrance. And Taylor's like, do you really think that Alyssa would put both of us up after her boyfriend had a racist situation? And Monty's like, yeah, I don't think Alyssa cares about that. She'll just play the victim, say she didn't know anything, blah, blah, blah. So Monty also brings up Alyssa does have game reasons to go after both of them. It's not like she'd just be like pulling it out of thin air, right? I mean, Taylor was trying so hard to up on the block during her HOH week. So anyway, the feeds switch away from them for a few minutes, but when they come back, Monty is asking Taylor, where is your head at this point? And Taylor says she's really indifferent about the vote this week, but she is still holding on to what Terrance did last week. Remember when Terrance was trying to keep Kyle over her? Didn't make Taylor feel great. So Taylor felt like that was a really ugly situation. Yes, Terrance owned up to it and apologized to her, but Taylor says that doesn't mean that I have to vote for him to stay, right? So Monty says, again, he doesn't believe a word that Terrance says. Taylor agrees. But Monty says, I do believe that Terrance's points that he's making about Alyssa having jury votes, I think that is legit. So he is kind of worried about that. So Monty asks Taylor, has Alyssa pitched to you yet? Because she hasn't pitched to me at all. So Taylor's like, well, she hasn't pitched officially, but Alyssa has been saying how great it would be for the women to go far into this game together. So this is the information that Monty was looking to hear in this conversation. He wanted to see if Taylor was going to share that Alyssa was trying to get all the girls together. So Taylor did deliver on that. So Taylor says, I just can't trust Terrance for shit. I can't get past the way that he reacted to everything last week. She says, unfortunately, if Terrance goes, yes, that means Alyssa may continue to slide through further than we want her to, but she really wants Terrance to go. Okay. So they're not really sure what they're going to do yet. They have a few more days to decide. We'll get there. So later on in the conversation, Monty says, all right, I'm going to take a leap of faith and I'm going to tell you something. And Monty starts spilling to Taylor about all the information that Brittany spilled to Turner the other night. So he's like, yeah, Turner told me that Brittany's going crazy right now. She told Turner that he's the only person she feels she could beat in the final two. She said she doesn't want to come in second place against Michael. And she said a lot of people would empathize with you, Taylor, about your story. So, like, she doesn't want to go to the final two with you. She doesn't think that she can beat me or Alyssa. So, again, Brittany was trying to make a final two with Turner. So Monty drops. Apparently, Brittany also said that she thinks that Taylor and Monty are working closely together, and she spilled that Alyssa is trying to get the girls together. And Monty says, you just confirmed that to me, so like I know that that's true. And I appreciate you sharing that with me. So Monty says again, Brittany wants a final two with Turner, and Taylor, I feel like, is just thinking, what the actual F? Because she is so loyal to Brittany at this point, and now she's hearing that Brittany is running around making other final two deals, saying she doesn't want to go to the final two with Taylor or Michael. So Taylor says, I can read Brittany like a book. Can you though? She says she's thinking maybe Terrance is getting in Brittany's head about going to the final two with Turner, because I guess he was saying the same thing to her at one point. I think Brittany arrived at that conclusion on her own. But Monty says it's just strange that Brittany would have acted on that and actually went and talked to Turner about it. So Taylor's also really confused because Brittany keeps saying that Turner's got to go. Turner is Brittany's target for next week, but she's trying to make a final two with him. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So then Brittany comes out and stops their conversation. Okay, so then a little later, Taylor's alone talking to the cameras, and she's asking, is there a world where I can take Terrance and Brittany to the end of this game? She says that would mean Alyssa would have to go this week, then Michael, then Turner, and then Monty. Oh my God. Can you imagine, though, a final three with Terrance, Alyssa, and Taylor? And then, like, what if Terrance or Alyssa win the final HOH and pick each other, and then we're stuck with a final two of Terrance and Alyssa? Don't do this to us, Taylor. Oh my God. So anyway, I guess she's considering all scenarios right now. But Taylor chats with Brittany in the car bedroom, and now Taylor knows that Brittany's been going around trying to make final two deals with Turner, doing all this shit. And Taylor says, I'm just trying not to lose my shit right now. As the numbers get lower, this game gets harder. And she tells Brittany, my entire game is with you. You know that. And Brittany says, yep. So Taylor's like, it just got to me a little bit today, just knowing that other conversations are probably happening. Reminder again, she knows what Brittany's been up to, but she does not straight up confront Brittany about this. So Taylor says, I'm so all in on me and you. That is my game. Brittany says, me too. That's a lie. Brittany wants to go to the final two with Michael, not Taylor. But Brittany says, we have like 3 plans right now to get to the end. We're going to have to cut some of those plans at some point. We got to weigh our options. And Taylor's like, I'm just not used to having this many options, right? She says it's scary. I mean, we've seen what happens to people who have too many options. So Brittany says, we just have to make sure that we don't overplay. Okay, Brittany, like, you are so overplaying this week, but sure. So Brittany says we just have to continue nurturing the relationships that we already have, because we already have so many options, so many paths to the end. So Taylor says, I just don't want anyone getting in anyone's head, because this is the time when it's really easy for that to happen, and it's really scary. So Brittany asks, is there anything in particular that's bothering you here? Like, is there a specific thing? And Taylor's like, I'm just worried that Terrance is going to twist things and get in people's heads. So they agree. They are still planning on targeting Turner next week, and by taking him out, they feel like they can really pull Monty in by getting rid of his other option to work with, keep him loyal to the Brochella 4. So Michael, Brittany, Taylor, and Monty. So Brittany is pushing that it benefits them to keep Michael next week, because she's saying over and over again, if one of us wins HOH, there's going to be a lot of pressure on us to take the shot at Michael, but it makes more sense for us to keep him. If we take him out too early, we're going to be the next big target. Somebody's going to take us out. And Brittany says, out of everybody, like, we benefit the most from keeping Michael here. So we can't let anyone get in our heads. Let's ride this train a little longer, and then we'll get rid of Michael later on. Okay. So a few minutes later, Monty and Turner join them. And all four of this week's voters are now in the same room. Oh my God. So they start discussing the pros and cons of Alyssa versus Terrance on the block. So Monty says, Alyssa still hasn't admitted that she was coming after me. But then again, there's also Terrance, who did some shady stuff last week. So Monty says, Terrance has already been campaigning to me. He did bring up a good argument about Alyssa having a lot of jury votes. And Brittany says, yeah, but Alyssa is going to be easier to beat in the competitions. We can make sure that we take her out before we get close to the end. But Terrance, on the other hand, could pull out a win in the double eviction, which they're suspecting could be coming up, and that could mess up everything. So Taylor brings up she's still super pissed at Terrance from what happened last week. So she's not like super keen on keeping him around. But Monty is just worried that Alyssa's going to keep sliding through week after week and make it all the way to the end. So they all agree they are fine with putting Alyssa up next week. So he shouldn't have to worry about that. And they agree Terrance is the bigger threat to win competitions. So they decide at this point, Terrance has to go. So eventually Michael comes in. They let him know they are still on board with Terrance going. And then the plan is to take out Alyssa next week. I mean, that's what they're all saying to each other, but like, that's not really the plan for some of them. But Michael says, that's fine with me. Sounds great. Because we know he wants Terrance to go. So later, Big Brother treats the house guests to a party for Labor Day. And the feeds go down for a few hours. Big Brother got them some takeout, got them some cupcakes. I'm sure they had some music playing. They got some lawn games. We already saw that they had cornhole, but they also got bocce. They got ladder ball. That's a good time. If they get to keep those, sick. Okay. So later, after the party, Monty and Taylor are chatting in the bathroom. And Taylor says, I just want you to know that I am invested in the three that we agreed to: Monty, Taylor, and Brittany. And Taylor says, I don't want to make the wrong step, without being in line with both of you. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. So Monty's asking, but like, do you think that Brittany's head is in the same place on all that? And Taylor nods, and she's asking, like, has she told you otherwise? And Monty's like, remember that information I shared with you earlier about Brittany approaching Turner about a final two and like spilling all that info? Like, why would she make a final two with Turner? And he's like, Turner didn't just make that up. So Taylor's like, well, I haven't talked to Brittany about that yet. I mean, she hasn't confronted her yet, but she did kind of like sniff around a little bit to see what was going on. But Monty's like, please don't confront her about it, because we don't need her to know that Turner spilled that info. We don't need that getting back to her. So Monty asks Taylor, do you think that Turner is making all that up? And Taylor's like, no, like she says that's what she's confused about, because she knows that Turner and Brittany do not have that close of a relationship. So like, why would Brittany be approaching him about a final two? And she's like, I don't think it came out of thin air, but I think maybe Brittany was frazzled. Maybe she was rambling a bit, and that's like how it came out. So Monty again is saying it just doesn't make sense why Turner would make that up. So then Monty checks in with Michael in the HOH room, and Monty's like, all right, I talked to Taylor, and she told me that Alyssa was talking about going to the end with the girls. So Taylor brought this up first to me without me prompting her. And Monty says that feels like a really good sign that Taylor's not taking that offer seriously. He says, I don't think that she would tell me about that if that was something that she was actually considering, right? So Monty says at this point he feels like Brittany is just trying to like cover all of her bases. Maybe she's just trying to make sure that nobody else puts her up if she doesn't win HOH. That's what I would guess, because she's trying to set something up with like everybody. So Monty says, I don't know if Brittany is just getting paranoid and trying to cover her own But she's like going in circles right now. And honestly, it doesn't feel good to hear this information coming back to us. Right? Even if she is with us, doesn't feel good to hear these other things. So Michael's like, I know. I'm going to try and talk to Brittany and bring it up naturally with her and see what she says. So, yeah. Later, Turner and Michael chat in the HOH room, and Turner says it would appear that Brittany is playing both sides because I'm hearing now that she's saying that I should be the target next week. But like, she was asking me for a final two. So Turner says it really sounds like the girls are planning on keeping Alyssa around for a while. And this is exactly what we were afraid would happen with Terrance. You know, people would want to drag him to the end. So now these girls are saying they're going to do that with Alyssa. So Turner asks Michael, what are your thoughts on this? And Michael says, he's torn. He's all out of faith. This is how he feels. I keep hearing that song on the radio, even still. But Michael says he thinks if the girls win HOH next week, they're not going to put Terrance or Alyssa up on the block. Like, no matter which one of them stays, if they're going to take a shot at the guys, they're probably going to put two of them up on the block. So Michael says Terrance staying scares me more because Terrance is more likely to get dragged to the final two. Yes, Alyssa has a bunch of jury votes, but she would get cut before getting that far into the game because people are not going to want to go to the end with her. So Turner says he feels pretty confident that he or Monty can win the next HOH competition. And he brings up again, Brittany seems to be playing both sides. So Michael says Brittany must be panicked about something, right? Because this is how she was playing week one when she was one of the backstagers and she was going all crazy. So Michael's wondering, like, what freaked her out this time? So Turner says apparently Brittany is really paranoid that he and Monty are working together. Yeah, Brittany cannot shut up about it. So Turner says, I don't think that the girls would ever think that me, you, and Monty, all three of us, are working together in a million years. So Turner says it's perfect. Michael is making it known that he still wants Terrance out this week because he feels like Terrance would put the two of them, Michael and Turner, up on the block if he wins HOH. And we did hear earlier from Terrance that is exactly what he would do. And Michael says Alyssa, on the other hand, she might not put either of us up. So they agree. The important thing moving into next week, they really want to avoid a situation where two of the three guys are nominated together. Because if it's only one up on the block, they can control the votes. They can decide what happens. They can keep each other safe. But if two of them are up, they're screwed. So after this conversation, Turner, Michael, and Monty are chatting by the pool. And there's more talk. Or sorry, the pool table. There's more talk about how Brittany is playing both sides right now. And they're saying she's got to be lying to someone, right? She can't be telling the truth to all of us. So Monty's asking, like, what do we do with this info? Does this change anything? Do we take out Alyssa instead of Terrance to keep the girls from working together? And Michael, again, is saying he still wants Terrance out this week because Terrance would put two of them on the block if he were to win HOH. And Monty is like, yeah, I see what you're saying. So Monty says, we'll be in a really solid position if I or Turner win HOH next week. And if one of the girls win, again, we just got to make sure that two of us don't go up on the block together. So then Taylor joins them and breaks up that combo. So that was last night. And then today, honestly, nothing exciting happening so far. I mean, Alyssa and Brittany were chatting. Alyssa was saying she wants the girls to stick together to the end, blah, blah, blah. We've heard it. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. We've got 2 days left until the eviction. And as of now, Terrance is still the first one that will be leaving on Thursday. But then, like, who's going to leave second? I don't know. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think will be leaving during the double eviction?
Oh, hi.
Hello.
There's no Bowie.
Oh,
He's on
Daddy's
adventures.
home?
Yes.
Okay.
He's having adventures.
I can allow that.
All right.
All right. So I want to thank today's super chatters because we cannot
Me.
do this without you guys. You want me to give you a hi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Norm the Cat, thank you so much. Randall Westgard, thank you so much. Sophie Couch, thank you so much. Dawn MH302, thank you so much. Jody Cortez, thank you as always. And Jody says, super hot for them outside. It's 102 today. Oh my God, yeah, it's been like a heat wave in California, right? That's crazy. Nina Sosa, thank you so much. MJ, thank you so much for the super chat. Deb Wicks, thank you so much. William Dang, thank you so much. And William says, hey, love your content. Continue like with your mom. Wait.
Yeah.
Continue like with your mom. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. Monty and Turner are really dumb working with Michael. I know, right? Because Brittany spills everything to be with him. Michael and Brittany will go far because they screwed up big time. I am just like shooketh that Monty and Turner are so afraid of the women working together that they're like, all right, I guess we're going to the end with Michael. But even though they're, like I said before, they want to work with Michael for now, but they're not actually planning to go to the final 3 with him. They do not want to do that. But even just them not targeting Michael next week is still like wild. I almost made it through without a yawn, but Holly M, thank you so much. And the CAC 16, thank you all so much for your super chats. Is it the CAC 16? Thank you for your super chat. And thanks for that cute sticker. That cute little sticker. All right. So we will be back tomorrow for another spoiler. We'll see if anything exciting happens.
BB Comics tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing all the comics on tomorrow's
Head itch in charge.
Yeah, tomorrow's recap. So okay.
Rep Kyle.
Not Rep Kyle dysfunction. All right. So thank you all for watching. And until next time, much love. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye.